What's up, guys? Welcome. It's Friday, last trading day of the week. How long have we been going on so far? For about 5 minutes. Sorry to the people that was waiting for 5 minutes. I'm doing good, man. How are you? It's been a good week. It's been a good week. Fast week, but it's been a good week. I'm gonna let some people get a chance to get in here. Scan the markets real quick. See what's going on. Potential trade I'm looking for here on CAD-J to take it higher, but probably won't get that today. GJ as well. I'll just put these two here. What's going on, brother? How you doing? How's you guys trading week been? UCAD is still here, guys. I'm very surprised on this market right here. Been going up and down all week. You're in a trade right now, GA. Let's go to it. Let's see. All right, are you in a you're in a buy order or a sell order? What are you in? Structure is still holding. Okay, let me redo this. All right. That's a nice impulse to the upside. What time was this? The daily time frame. That's the daily candle right here. Let's see. Fill up all the imbalance. I sent it in Discord. You're in a sell. All right, CAD-J. I want to know why you took CAD-J in a second. And then I see you have your pairs right here as well written down. Let me see. Give you some tips on that. And then UCAD, we'll talk about UCAD too. Because I didn't take that UCAD. I didn't take UCAD sales right there. So you could have avoided that loss there. And then you're talking about GA. Well, I mean, the trade looks good. That sell that you took, the market just missed you, man, unfortunately. Very, very unfortunate. What time frame is this on? The 1 hour time frame. Okay, I see why you were taking sales. We're still in bearish order flow going to the downside. We are in a demand zone, right? So you kind of see that we are kind of starting to accumulate. And basically, while we're in a demand, it's because right here, all right, this is what's holding our last order flow leg, right? That's holding our last structure leg towards the upside. As you can see how this market is moving. I haven't looked at this market in a while, but you can see this market is moving higher, right? My structure is still the same on the higher time frame. Even the 1 hour time frame going down to the lower time frame, we're still kind of bullish, right? Trading inside of demand, we're going higher. Here's our latest demand zone right here. So I'm not kind of surprised that the market is kind of, struggling here. Even these sell orders that you're taking, you see the market is giving you reactions, but we're also, invalidating those selling opportunities as well. That's where structure comes in. That's where That's where that comes in, because understanding where you're at in the market is very important, especially when it comes to structure, especially when it comes to supply and demand. If you're going to be trading this way, you have to understand directional bias and where the market is potentially going and why it's going that way. So for example, as this market is coming lower, I mean, I see that it didn't give you that much sell setups, but your prime sell setups should be somewhere up here, right? Before we get down into this demand zone, that's going to be your most, I would say, your highest probability, high win rate sales. All right. As the market dwindles down and gets lower into this area here, even if the market breaks this area later on, that's not the point. The point is, when the market gets here, this is a valid demand zone. It's a valid demand zone, right? So the market's going to give at least some reaction, right? It's going to give you some reaction. It's going to play around. It's going to mess around in this area. If the market wants to go lower after playing around, it will. But you're going to notice that usually demand zones, supply zones, even when they get invalidated, the market most of the time will react from that area, as you see right here, as we're creating all this price action. So basically what that means is it's going to be harder for you to sell here because the market wants to react here. It doesn't mean the market is going to, you know, buy from this area and completely go higher, which that's what we want to see, but at least you know you'll get a reaction. And because of that, it's going to be higher probability to take your sales as soon as possible. So when the market gets into a demand zone, if I'm not already in a sell before the demand zone, I'm not going to try to take a sell inside of the demand zone. I would take a sell after we break the demand zone. All right. Taking sales inside of a demand zone, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot because you know the market is going to play around here. Even if the market breaks this area, you know the market is going to play around inside of this demand zone, especially when we're following this structure so cleanly. You can see we're just making higher highs and higher highs, right? So in this case right here, I can see where you're taking your sell and that you're following this bearish order flow, because technically we haven't given a change of character yet. So I can see why you're following that bearish order flow towards the downside. But you just got to ask yourself, is the trade worth taking inside of this area? But your setup itself was good. I believe you would have hit TP if you would have taken the imbalance here. I'm not sure what you were targeting for your RR, but no, it didn't hit my TP either. So this would have just been a reduced risk trade for me, honestly, if I was taking this. So we're in the same boat here. Good setup though. It's good setup. The setup itself is good. It's just you want to see this up here, right? Then you would have definitely hit TP for sure. But it's good setup though. Good setup. Rinse and repeat. Don't worry about it. You can actually start looking for buys once if you get reduced risk. I don't know if the market's actually going to go there. Remember, the market can still turn around. Look what I've been dealing with on UCAD for the past for the past couple of days, right? We almost hit stop loss here, went lower, come back, almost hit stop loss again, come back lower, and now we're doing it again. I don't know what's going to happen. All right, but don't really care what's going to happen. The market's going to do whatever it wants to do, but you can kind of see I'm kind of dealing with the same thing. And it's just some trades are going to be like that. All right, some trades are not just going to go super easy and go directly into the direction. I've actually, when I was back testing, I seen a trade that did this exact same thing, and it took about like 7 days to hit take profit, which is kind of crazy. My stop loss is right at the high of the entry. Yeah, which is kind of crazy. And that's where your stop loss should be, since you were very close to take profit. You're at reduced risk. That's what we did with UCHEF right here, right? Once we break this high here, we go reduce risk, right? As soon as this market breaks this next high right here, I'm gonna go fully break even. I will let you guys know that. But yeah, so make sure you are catching on to the order flow as soon as possible. Okay, so like we did here with UCHEF, you see how immediately order flow, we didn't really get anything right here to trade order flow. Order flow changed right here when we got this change of character. Immediately after we got this change of character, we're looking for buy opportunities, right? That's going to be the prime time, because as this market continues to go higher, where are we targeting? We're targeting imbalance, right? We're targeting areas to fill. We're targeting supply zones. Once we get to those targets, it's harder to take more buys, okay? Because now you're waiting to see, okay, are buyers still willing to buy the market inside of this area here? And it's going to be better to bet the buys down here to target a supply zone or imbalance rather than trying to catch late buys, okay? And for me personally, if I'm not already in the market as we're getting to these targets, I'm not going to chase that, okay? So you just got to kind of understand where you're at and, you know, just try to catch on as soon as possible, basically. But just going over some trades that we took this week. We took AU earlier this week. AU kind of turned up ugly for the rest of the week, but you guys remember that buy opportunity that we took right here, and we'll just go over all of them. So we took AU right here. That was the buy opportunity we took there. Boom. Right, that ended up hitting our take profit earlier this week. Stop loss entry right there. Stop loss at the low. So yeah, that ended up hitting our take profit here for our 1 to 3. Boom. So that was AU. So we've been out of that trade before it started getting ugly. We're in UCAD still, surprisingly. But yeah, we're in UCAD this week. Supply zone that we were taking right here. Been waiting for this trade. We created a lot of liquidity. I told you guys that I wasn't going to take anything from here just because the impulsive move happened late, and timing, right? When you're looking at your impulsive movements, you don't want to hold the trade for the weekend. I mean, if that's what you want to do, if that's in your trading plan, make sure you're doing that for every trade. Okay. Do you not want to hold that specific trade for the weekend? Is it a specific scenario, or what are you thinking? Like, is that going to be based on a specific scenario, or are you going to do that for every trade? So it doesn't matter what the rule that you're setting, right? Just make sure you're setting the rule for everything in the future. Okay, so when you set rules for yourself and everything like that, especially on your trading, or you know, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, make sure you keep that rule consistent. You don't want to constantly change a rule or something like that. So just make sure that it's consistent for the future going on. All right, I don't have a problem with that. I personally, I leave my trades on, so this trade's staying on. UCAD, UCHEF is staying on. The only thing I don't do is limit orders over the weekend because of gaps in the market. I don't want the market to gap, especially what's going on right now in this current state of the market and these market conditions. It's not the best time. It is not the best time to have limit orders over the weekend. I don't want to hold my trades because I want to come into the market with a fresh mind. If that's gonna be better for you, do that. Okay. Well, I like that statement. But yeah, so time, right? Time is very important. Time and price is very important. I might have to break down a whole nother video for that, for the mentorship. Just explaining, like, you know, an updated version, because I did create a version like later, I would say back in like 2022, where I talked about time and price, and it's the same criteria, right? It's the same thing. Nothing has changed. It's the same times that I talked about then versus now, right? Nothing has changed. So time and price is very important. You guys can see what time this quote unquote impulsive move happened. This happened during changeover, right? So 5 p.m. my time, which is afternoon. That's after New York session. That's like going into Asian session. This is not where I'm looking for impulsive movements. Nobody's in the market, right? It's the middle of the day. It's 5 p.m. That's 9 to 5. People's getting off work. That's changeover, right? No one's really selling the market at this time. So this wasn't a good impulsive movement. And look how much the market was struggling up here right? So you can see before this change over time, and this is how I know this was just BS price action, right? Before this change over time, look how much the market was struggling. Okay, so changeover is the only thing that actually gave this kind of movement that we're looking for, and that's not the time we're looking to trade. Okay, we're looking for impulsive movements during London session, during New York session, so we know they're verified moves, and we know there's actual players in the market. All right, so that's why I wasn't looking for anything here, personally. Yeah. All right. And then UCHEF here that we just got in yesterday. I messed up my entry on this trade a little bit. The entry that I was supposed to get when I woke up, I wasn't in the trade. I thought I set the limit order for this, but I guess I forgot. But when I woke up and I didn't see I was in a trade on this, I had to just execute it. I had the market execute it. So that's why the entry is a little bit higher. But basically, the entry is really supposed to come off this 1 hour mitigation right here that's holding the imbalance. You guys can see mitigation of the imbalance here, and that's where we kind of stopped. So once I woke up and I realized I was in the trade and I seen the mitigation of the imbalance, I had to kind of just take the trade. So yeah, basically pretty much simple setup, manipulation of the lows, right? Manipulation of the lows. We have the mitigation right here that mitigated our manipulation. So that means this is going to be the area we're going to focus on, because this is the area here that created the impulsive move, that has the imbalance, and that broke the high, right? So this is going to be the focus point. All we needed to see was the manipulation, so we're good. All right. Why we took the trade? The market invalidated this high. Why is that high important? If you zoom in, time, right? What happened? What time did this happen? 9 a.m., right? That is right before New York open, where New York Stock Exchange open. We manipulated this high right here, and look at the impulsive movements, right? Even though this market did not, we came back and everything like that. Look how we came back. We mitigated that area here, and then we continued lower, right? So what does that mean? That means there were sellers here in this market, especially that being that time that happened. So once we break that, that means we're invalidating sellers. If we're invalidating sellers, that means buyers are getting into the market. So when we see a bullish demand zone like this get created that invalidates buyers, we take that demand, right? Because we know right now buyers wants to take this market higher. Where do they want to take the market? Imbalance, right? We have 4 hour imbalance right here. We have more imbalances up here. So that's an easy trade, easy target to take towards the upside. Okay. UJ, I kind of want to look at this market right now. So same thing kind of happened here with UJ that I was seeing. It was the same setup, same buying opportunity. It just missed us. I wish I would have took GJ, and I'm gonna show you guys why. I wish I would take GJ instead, because I was looking both of these yesterday and the reason why I picked between one is because I was already in 3 trades, right? I was in UCAD, I was in UCHEF, and I was in like AU. So I had only one more trade to add, and that was gonna be like 4%. I'm risking 1% every single trade. So that was gonna be 4% active right there that I'm risking, and I wasn't gonna take both UJ and GJ and have 3 other trades that's running at the same time. So I had to pick between those two, and I picked UJ. Regretting that decision now, but it was a good setup, right? So basically, what happened here is the same criteria. We are invalidating supply zones. All right, you can see here there's no really supply in this area right here. This is the only area of valid supply, and the reason why is because this is the only thing that gave us a manipulation. All right, so since this gave us that manipulation of Asian highs, you can kind of see we have that impulse, we have the mitigation. This is that same price action that happened during changeover that just gave that push to the downside. So once we invalidate this high right here, you can see we invalidated that high first, and then the market went lower. We gave our retracement, and then we created the setup, right? Same setup, right? Manipulation of Asian lows. We have the market creating accumulation. We have the impulsive move that creates now a higher high. So first we invalidate this high. We gave a retracement. That's how we know this is not like a manipulation, because after the retracement, we go back and we create a higher high. That's just confirming buyers' interest. Okay, so we know that this market potentially wants to just come and take out all this liquidity. That was the target. That was my objective. After we take out this high, we're going to come and take out this liquidity because there's no more sellers in this market. Okay, at this area, basically, right? There's going to be sellers up here, but not right here. All right, so what we can do is we can take buys until we get into those areas. This was basically a 4-hour setup. The 1 hour did not give the setup I was looking for because we already filled the imbalance, right? So we filled this imbalance right here. We tapped into it there. And after that, we gave that impulsive movements. Now looking at it, looks like I should have just took this 1 hour candle right here. We accumulate inside that 1 hour candle. Looks like I should just took this, but I'll journal that. Looks like that was the best. I think that happened the same way on GJ as well, but GJ was a little bit cleaner. But simply put, the 4 hour just looked a lot better to me. You can kind of see we have that manipulation, that nice candle towards the upside. We have another candle, right? It just looked a little bit better. So we ended up missing this trade by a couple pips. Let's see. Yeah, by like 10 pips. And yeah, now it's going. I'm going to put that in the journal. And I'll just do that right now, actually, because now I'll come back to that. Let's go to GJ. GJ looks like exactly the same, but just a little bit better, right? GJ had the setup exactly the same way. It had the 4 hour, it had the 1 hour. The 1 hour looked cleaner on GJ though. And you can see that's what actually gave the move towards the upside. So we know GJ was ranging. I was telling you guys on Monday that the market was ranging. I was waiting for us to exit this range in one direction, and we exited the range in a buyer's direction. So how did we know that we should be taking buys within this range? Basically, this trend started happening right here. Right, you can see we have a manipulation of Asian lows, market goes higher. Manipulation of Asian lows, market goes higher. Manipulation of Asian lows, market goes higher. I just made a video on this, guys. I told you guys this is what you want to look for when you're looking for order flow. Okay, if you want to know which direction the market is currently going in, are buyers stronger, are sellers stronger, you look for the manipulations. Where are the manipulations? Are we manipulating lows? Are we manipulating highs? If we're manipulating lows and going higher, you're in a bullish order flow. You should be looking for buying demand zones. Okay, so in this case right here, the setup that I was looking at was this manipulation right here, this last manipulation from Wednesday. You can see we filled this imbalance. So once we fill that imbalance right here, we're not looking to take anything from this area since the market doesn't really have any reason to go down here. All right, this was this demand zone here that the market ended up mitigating. Right there, you can see after we filled that imbalance, the market gave us another setup here where we gave 3 impulsive candles right here, broke the high, we left the imbalance, we got a manipulation that filled imbalance down here, and that's where the market reacted off of. Stop loss at the low, take profit already hit, right? I think it hit, was almost. But that would have been that trade if we didn't take UJ. So, yeah, I think I already journaled that, but I'm gonna journal these two, UJ and GJ, for this week. But yeah, that's pretty much it for those two. And then CAD-J is something I'm looking at for today. This is probably gonna come next week. So you can see we have the manipulation of Asian lows here. We have that impulse. This is a 4 hour trade. We have a lot of impulsive 4 hour candles. Our imbalance is right down here on the 4 hour time frame. 1 hour is not clean on this, so there's no 1 hour area that I would take here. So we're just gonna stick to the 4 hour on this setup. We already confirmed the break of the high, so I'll just be looking for buys here on CAD-J. Let's kind of scan some of these other markets. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. I see that DXY is kind of retracing back. I'm pretty sure we're probably going to come back just taking out these highs here. Probably just come back, taking out these highs, maybe fill some of these imbalances up here. Still not seeing very aggressive buyers yet on DXY, so not really sure about the dollar. Yeah, I wouldn't say we're completely turning over just yet. Got to see some more buying opportunities. I got to see some more just buying pressure in this. I think this is just a retracement to come back and fill imbalance. We'll see. Depends on how the market goes. GA, we were just on GA, brother. We're just on GA. Look for buying opportunities. All right, we're in a demand zone. This market is bullish. I would wait until we take out this high, since this is still bearish order flow, but we're in a demand zone, right? You can see the market is still creating lower lows, but we're in a demand zone. So once we take out this high here, use that as your catalyst to take this market higher. Let's see here. I don't really think you have a setup just yet. This is not really the time I'm looking for this market to take out any lows. We filled up all this imbalance. That's really nice. We filled up that imbalance, but to be honest, this kind of would have been that buying setup for you, but this didn't create a break of the high, so that's not something I would have taken. But that's kind of what you want to look for. It's kind of what you want to see happen. You want to see just a quick manipulation and an impulse that just breaks this high at least, okay, with some imbalance, just like we left here, right? That same kind of impulsive movement. You see we took out these highs here, so you're kind of looking for that same just manipulation, impulse, imbalance, break of the high. The only problem with here is we didn't break a high, so we need to break a high to confirm the trade. Once you see that, you take the buys to the upside. Okay, this market is still in a demand zone. You should be looking for buys. That's a simple analysis. You don't really have to overcomplicate the market that much. It's buying, look for buying demand zone. Now you just have to be patient. All right, you don't have to go in lower time frame and try to figure out how you can catch a buy right now. You're gonna waste your time. You're gonna hit stop losses. Just wait for the market to show you. All right, so that's what I'd be looking for on GA. Let's see. So EU kind of got ugly this week. I didn't take any trades on EU. We respected this area here. If we would have made this break of structure, possibly that could have been a trade. I was in so much trades this week already, so I was kind of just nitpicking which pairs that I wanted. If GU would have gave me a trade, I would have definitely gave GU priority. EU priority over any other pair, because I back tested EU so much. EU and GU, I always give them priority over any other pair because I've back tested those pairs so much. Those two pairs I've back tested so much. So those are really have main a lot of my data and a lot of my analytics based on the strategy. Some of these other ones do too, but EU and GU are like the core the backbone of all the data. All right, so I always give those priority. But it's kind of ugly, right? We didn't create the breaker structure. The setup looked like it was good, right? We gave an impulsive move. We just didn't create that breaker structure, and we don't have the change of character, so it wasn't something that I was going to force. So we really didn't take anything here on EU this week. It wasn't the greatest week for EU. GU either, right? We're kind of just going back and forth. Like I told you guys, if you don't see nothing, don't force anything, all right? So I kind of just been chilling here on EU and GU, not really been doing anything. AU, we already took that trade. We're in UCAD, UCHEF. We talked about UJ. Gold. Should you be looking for sales? Yes, you should be looking for sales. I said that the other day after we invalidated this demand zone right here. This was the closest area. So basically what that means is, since this is our latest demand zone here, you can kind of see we took out these lows and we gave that impulse right here. This is our latest demand zone. When the market invalidates a demand zone, that means sellers are currently in the control of the market, right? Remember, once the market invalidates a demand zone, this creates a change of character. Once you see a change of character, that means that the market is changing. We're going from buyers to sellers, okay? So you should be looking for sales now. Looking for sales to do what? Looking for sales to target this area. Now understand, these are the best selling opportunities right now. As this market goes lower and gets into this area, selling opportunities, the probability is gonna go down because you're getting back into this kind of pricing. All right, this is our last leg on the 1 hour time frame from this low here that tapped into this institutional price point that led us to the next institutional price point. So 3,000 led us to 3,500, and you can see that we have structure on both of these areas. So as this market pulls back, you can see we drew the fibs. As this market pulls back into this latest kind of push, right, as we get underneath this 50%, these selling opportunities are going to dwindle down. All right, so that means it's going to get less probable. You're going to have less probable trades for selling. So you should, once we get here, you should start looking for buys. All right, back into this area. But for now, right now, if you see some selling setups, take the selling setups for now. Okay. Let's see, GJ, CAD. Yeah, we're probably not gonna get this set up till next week. So let me go ahead. I'm gonna put an alert here. And honestly, I don't need any more trades this week. I already have too many active trades. So I will kindly wait. Put this as green. Did AJ actually give us a setup? I like the impulse. I like this candle right here. Where are we? We're in 50%. I'd zoom into this. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, we'll get into that in a second. AJ. I like this move. I just don't like the fact that this Asian lows. This is a tricky one. Asian lows are still holding right here. 2 o'clock is right here. I mean, JPY pairs are kind of bullish right now. We see GJ going higher, CAD going higher. So this trade could probably work out either way. If we were to take something here, do we feel imbalance? I'm gonna mark AJ for now. We'll mark it for now. We are getting back into premium pricing. We're over the 50%. So I'm not going to be too aggressive unless it's a picture perfect setup. But I'm going to mark it for now. We'll see. If I'm desperate next week, we'll see. But not something I'm going to take over the weekend. I don't like taking limit orders over the weekend. So if nothing's going to actually activate today, then I'm not going to tell you guys to place any limit orders today, right? I don't want the market open up Monday or Sunday and then it just gaps past our limit order or whatever. We don't want that. So we'll just wait and see. If this is going to activate and come in today, we'll look at it. But if not, then we'll wait till next week. We'll see let the market develop a little bit. I want to see some more from this. We're coming into premium pricing and we're kind of getting into, we're close. We're getting into like the 71 now. So ACAD has been ugly this week. I really haven't been looking at anything on ACAD. Just really waiting for this to create a setup for me. Yeah, just waiting for this to create a setup. We had a potential setup here, but the high wasn't broken, so no trade. And we're getting into premium pricing. So to be honest, I'm waiting for the selling opportunity anyways. I'm waiting for the change of character. We got the change of character here. Buyers are in control. Now we got back into premium pricing. We could go a little bit higher, maybe into the 71, possibly. But you kind of see this market is slowing down. So once we break this low here, I'll start looking for my selling setups, right? Once we get this change of character. Put that alert right there. GCAD. So, I told you guys I wasn't looking for sales on GCAD until we break this low here, and we did not break the low. So, we're still looking for buys. All right? We're still looking for buys. We're still looking for buys. GCAD is not want to give us any buys this week, though. We're manipulating lows, which is nice. Right here, took out those lows, got an impulse. We mitigated this area here that we were going to take sales from. So we got a reaction from there. Market is bouncing back. Potentially, we're going to invalidate this, honestly. This is still an opportunity you can take only if you get the buy. So I'm still waiting here on GCAD to really give me something. Give me my buying opportunity so I can hedge it. We're going to take a buy and we're going to take a sell. That way we're covered both ways on this market. Since technically order flow is bearish, but higher time frame is bullish. So the market could really go either way right now. I mean, over time, we know this market's going to go higher, but this is still a trade opportunity to trade this bearish leg to the downside because technically we still have not invalidated yet, right? So it's just something you could do. That's why I'm only taking the sell only if I get a buying opportunity. I'm not going to take this sell by itself just because higher time frame is bullish. All right, you can see the leg from the downside towards the upside here. We came back, we filled in balance. This market is bullish. All right. eChef is bullish as well. I was holding this to do my journaling this weekend, but I'll just redraw it. But what I'm looking for here, since we took that L here on eChef this week when we closed that trade, we gotta change the character. You guys know what that means. We're looking for buying opportunities. So I need GCAD to start creating these nice opportunities that we were creating once we were here. Like this was a nice buying opportunity right here. The only problem is we're still inside of here, so we didn't take anything from that. But I'm looking for one of these moves again. Nice little impulsive movement like that. And you guys can see we're manipulating lows, right? Bullish order flow, manipulating lows. Okay, you can see where the kind of bullish order flow started right here. This is not a coincidence, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's happened like 5 days in a row. Okay, it's not a coincidence. So yeah, we're in bullish order flow. I'm looking for buying opportunities. Today we could probably create something, hopefully. I see that we have this manipulation of these lows. Hopefully we can go up and take out these highs. If we do that, then we'll take a buy from this. If we can break this high. Until then, we're chilling. All right, we are chilling. So NAS and NAS and US 30. So yesterday I did catch a trade here on US 30, and I'll just go over that real quick for our scalping strategy. Where was the buy at? It was over here. It was right here. So basically yesterday, you guys can kind of see what happened. This market was just going crazy insane. This is kind of why why the live didn't happen yesterday. I was so locked in and trying to catch these buys here. It was insane, right? I ended up catching some buys later on, like right here on this. So basically, you guys know what we're looking for. We're looking for directional bias. We're looking for our imbalances. We're looking for impulses, right? So we can kind of see what happened on this market. And we talked about this on Monday. We had this gap right here. I mean, we talked about this on like Wednesday, I think, or Tuesday. I think it was Wednesday, but we had this gap, right? You can see the market came back, filled up this gap. All right. That was the objective. The market created that objective. After that, look what happened. After we did that, we rated these lows, impulse, right? So technically now, I mean, I'll give you analysis now. I'm going to be looking for buys today when the market opens to take out these highs and to take out those highs. And we'll get to NAS in a little bit because NAS already took out those highs. So that's why I'm kind of expecting US 30 to continue higher too. We'll see what happens when the market actually opens and where the market wants to go, because technically we can still come into this imbalance right here. So if I see the market opens up and we give a bearish impulse to the downside, I'll take the bearish imbalance to fill up this gap right here, to fill up this area. If we see an impulse to the upside, we're breaking these highs, then I'll continue taking this market to the upside to target this high, take out this liquidity, and ultimately these highs over here. All right, so it really depends on how the market opens and what direction they want to go. So that's basically what we're looking for. And if you don't catch any sales, or if we don't get any selling opportunities, once we get into this 1 hour imbalance here, I will be looking on the lower time frame, like 15-minute, and looking to see that change of character, looking for those imbalances on the lower time frame and trying to take this market off of this area, since we kind of see that this is just a retracement to fill this gap and potentially just go higher from here. So either way, wherever the market wants to go, we're going to kind of look for that opportunity. All right, so kind of zoom in here and what we were looking for and what trade that we took yesterday for our scalping strategy. This was the buy that we took. So the market opened, we went lower, and we started just going crazy to the upside. Trust me, guys, I was trying to catch. You can see this was the first area that I wanted the market to come back into. Didn't come back into it. There was a small imbalance right here, didn't make it. This imbalance didn't make it. That imbalance didn't make it. Right. So yesterday was very, very, very fun. So before I got off the market, all right, right here around like 10, 11, before I left these, we seen this last area here. I seen the market react from here. So that was the actual 5-minute imbalance that we got into. And you guys already know we're looking for buys. This market opened up very, very aggressive and going to the upside. So automatically the direction of the day was already set. Okay, so once we tapped into that imbalance, you guys know we're looking for a 5-minute closure. 5-minute closure happened right here. I kind of seen this a little bit late because I was looking at NAS. So when I seen this, the 5-minute closure, it was like right here or like right here. It was one of these candles right here. So basically, once I seen that we were reacting off of this area, I kind of just took a buy somewhere here. Stop loss at this low. Market almost stopped us out, but we didn't do that. So and then just a 1 to 2, right? 1 to 2 target, which hit later in the day around like right here. Boom, around right there. And let me see, where is it at? So boom. So for so far this week, since we started this scalping strategy, let me kind of pull it up right here. Close positions. All right, there it is. So far this week, since we started this scalping strategy here on just move that, on the indices, we had a trade here on the 24th, on 22nd. So yeah, we started on Monday. We took our first trade on Tuesday. We took a win on Tuesday. We took a loss on Wednesday. And then yesterday, we took that win. So we're up 3% here on this challenge account that we started this week. Like I told you guys, I'm going to continue to update you guys on this to forward test this so you guys can see it in real time as well. And before we actually start putting some real capital behind that strategy, we'll see. So far it's doing good though. It's actually respecting these areas, and we're kind of seeing that it's doing nice. So we'll keep going. I'll keep updating you guys. And basically the goal there on that is basically I'm only taking 1 trade a day. There's so many opportunities, right? NAS gave its own opportunity too. But with that being like such a, I would say, specific setup, and that being like what's the word I'm looking for? That's very specific, right? The market can really invalidate those areas like very, very quickly. So I'm only taking one setup per day, and I'm only taking one trade per day. So if I get a loss, that's the loss. I'm done for the day. If I get a win, that's the win. I'm done for the day, right? So I'm gonna kind of being very strict with it because I do not want you guys. If I share when I share this, and we add this into one of our strategies, I don't want you guys trading every single imbalance, every single thing that you see, and taking pointless losses. All right, so we got to be kind of strict with this. All right, so that's why I'm doing it that way. Okay, one trade a day, one imbalance, one area. That's it, right? One of these markets, either NAS or US 30 or XPX. I don't really look at XPX as much as NAS and US 30. I don't know why. But I don't know. I don't like XPX as much, right? I really like US 30. US 30 is like my go-to. NAS is okay. NAS is friendly sometimes. Sometimes it's not. Natural gas. Which one should I choose? Which one is the right which one's the right one? And also NQ. So tell me which one's the right one. Which one should I choose? So NAS has already taken out that high. Okay, so very, very impulsive movement. We took out that high. Lots of imbalance here. So today's going to be very interesting. The market's about to open very, very soon. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know, because we're about to lock in here on these in a second. We are about to lock in here in a second. All right, let's start marking these up. I definitely believe this is like the major imbalance that will come into this week. Well, probably next week, maybe today. I don't know. We'll see. But this is the major imbalance I'm looking for us to come into. Don't have any divergence here, unfortunately. No. All right. Yeah, which contract should I look at for nat gas? I see like 3 of them. Let me just do a quick wellness check on these real quick. Okay. Yeah, GJ, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say is yeah. That's definitely gonna get journaled this week. Cat J looks pretty good too. This might be another setup that we're creating today. I have to see. Did we take out the lows already? No, we didn't take out the lows, so no, not another setup. Four hours still gonna be what we're gonna look for here. I think the market's just open to ACAD coming lower, GCAD, Chef, E-chef. All right, let's see what's going on. What's going on today? Market just opened. So let's see the exact open of the market. Yeah, it's that candle. All right. Okay, now it's down movement. Okay. I really hope UCAD just goes down to his TP today. After days of fighting, I think we deserve it. That'd be a really nice way to end the week, UCAD. I'd be very appreciated. See what these stocks is doing. We didn't gap up today. Huh. I think that's the first day we didn't create a gap. Still have all these gaps over here on Nvidia. Nvidia's at really good prices right now. As like an investor standpoint, right? It's a nice time to invest into Nvidia. Dollar cost average, of course, right? Don't throw your whole bag in here, but you know, get a little something. Nice little private buying range here. Apple, did we gap today? I don't think we gapped today at all. No. Okay. Well, no gaps today. It's a nice feel. But we are going higher. No gaps today, but we are going higher. So, are we just gonna have another bullish day? Looks like that might be the case. All right, forget the imbalance then. think I might like NAS more today. I mean, that candle still has like 3 more minutes left, so I'm not gonna put it past it, but yeah, I think I might like NAS more today. I like this movement more. Did we take out these lows? Yes, we did. Okay. Okay. That NAS definitely might be the move today. I have a better accumulation than we do here on US 30. Well, we just need that imbalance to actually hold, so. And then we'll wait for some reactions and a closure, and then we'll take that trade, stop loss at the low, and that'll be our trade for the day here. That'll actually be my first trade on NAS this week. I've been only trading US 30 so far. So this is the type of trade that we're gonna look for right here. Just waiting for this 5-minute imbalance to kind of hold itself, honestly. Since yesterday was bullish, it looks like today wants to be bullish too. So NAS is like the cleanest one today. Wow. My arch nemesis. Alright guys, let's not have another one of these days. We went through this yesterday, let's not go through this again. But yeah, pretty much covered everything that I'm looking for. I'm just gonna be trading indices until something happens on these currencies right now. So if you have any questions, let me know. Any question, just let me know. I'm gonna have a really far stop loss on this one though. Cover the low. We're in the imbalance. We need a 5-minute candle. A bullish 5-minute candle to close outside of the imbalance here. Since this market is so early too, I might wait for 2 candles. We'll see. But if we don't get that, then we're not taking it. Could have a selling setup today. Levels? What do you mean levels? Like, explain that a little bit. All right, so this 5-minute is not valid anymore. And in 1 minute, if we close right here with this bearish candle, that 5 minutes not valid anymore. Actually, if we give another bearish candle here, I actually take a sell from here in a second. We'll see. Yeah, that impulse candle is closing right through the imbalance. That's not what we want to see. We want to see a reaction from the imbalance, and then we take the trade. So there's no reaction here on the 5-minute. Well, this is where I would enter, man. This is where I'm entering off of. I didn't enter off of it yet. They didn't confirm it. Just because you see the imbalance, just because you see it, just because you see the imbalance doesn't mean the market's going to react off of it, right? I actually want to see the reaction. Like I showed the other day, right? Yesterday, the trade that we took was from right here. Just kind of, well, let me just do that. The trade that we took was from right here, right? It's this small area right there. All right, and you can see how we have these 5-minute candles that's rejecting. You see we don't have no body closures within that imbalance right there. That's what I'm looking for. All right, looking for rejections. We're looking for rejections off of the imbalance, and then we take the trade. No rejections, no trade. bearish day, maybe. Validate this low, and we will sell it. Yeah, US 30 is not playing around. Gotta see why I like this market more. So it looks like we're gonna take a trade today on US 30 probably. Unless Nas wants to give me something cleaner. Yeah, because we already invalidated the open. It's a tiny imbalance. And I'm pretty sure, where's Cello? Are you in here? Are you in the live? Knowing you, I'm pretty sure you probably took this right here off the 1 minute time frame. Let me see. I know it's Friday. I hope we don't just play around here. The market did create a big move yesterday. That's why I'm expecting some exhaustion. Maybe seeing some selling opportunities. Fill up all of these imbalances here. It's Friday too as well. Yep. Yep. All right, 3 more minutes. And then we'll have that selling opportunity. Hopefully it stays. Remember, guys, this is a strategy that I'm forward testing. All right. So I can't force you guys to not take this trade, but I'm gonna tell you, don't take it. Okay. These are scalping trades. If you're not comfortable with that, please save yourself. This is primarily why I don't send my US 30 and like NAS trades, because they're scalping trades. So this is like quick in and out. And I can't constantly update you guys like every second, every minute. Some people are gonna get stopped out. Like sometimes I'm in a trade and I'll immediately close the trade because I see something. And by the time I send that trade, and by the time I send the notification, by the time I send it, somebody probably got stopped out or something happened. So these are quick. I don't want people losing money. So I kind of keep these aggressive trades to myself. Five more minutes. Well, a couple more seconds, and then we just need the market to come back and tap into this area, and we will take the sell. 30 more seconds. 13 more. Please, please, please come back before we go down. Please. I really, really would love this market to come back up here before we get into this imbalance, because I want this to be my target. Please, please, US 30. I don't want to chase this on the 1 minute time frame. Well, there's nothing to chase. Anyways, the 1 minute imbalance is still right here, so they're in the same place. Let's see what NAS is looking like. Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. NAS is more uglier though. But how's your trading week been, guys? What's been going on? Anybody have anything they're struggling with this week? I made a post on my Instagram. I don't know if some of you guys are from there, but I seen a lot of people didn't have a good week. I had a good week. This is a profitable week for me. So, maybe you guys could tell me some of your struggles and what you're seeing. Looks like US30 might leave us today, unfortunately. We might have to look for the buy opportunity inside the imbalance instead. Not what I wanted to see, but we'll see. I think NAS is lagging behind, though. We could probably get something into NAS. Yeah, I'll probably have to take NAS today then. XPX looks better. You guys see why me and this market are like clashing all the time. Me and this market are constantly beefing back and forth. I love NAS, but price action just plays around so much. Like you see US30 going straight down. You see XPS going straight down, and look at NAS. Like, what is this, man? What are we doing? Well, I think Yusef is pulling back a little bit. Manipulate today's lows. I honestly was looking to see if we could take another trade on this, but it doesn't look like the market wants to give us that setup. We manipulated Asian lows again today. Maybe we get an impulse to the upside here. Probably take a trade somewhere here. We're gonna need the imbalance and everything though. So we'll see what the market will want to do. And KJ is gone. I'm just gonna let it go. Yeah, this is gonna be a trade for next week. We'll come back in here next week. We'll take that buy opportunity here. So that's a setup that we're gonna be waiting for next week here. Off that area, we got some inducement, so that's good. Give the market a reason to come back down here. We got these lows, and then we got Asian lows here. So we'll wait for the market to come back into that. Yay, okay, here we go. I really hope today's just not a back and forth type of day. I really hope we don't range today. because this is giving me signs of that right now. Yeah, nasty, you're probably done, buddy. It's over for you. All right, so I'm gonna shuffle through these one more time. We're gonna do one more scan of the markets for today. I'll give you guys what I'm potentially looking for today on some of the pairs. If I see anything that you could possibly take for today, we're gonna go through all these one more time, and then if you guys have any questions during that time, please go ahead and let me know. And then after that, I will end the call for the morning. While I wait for this right here, I'm gonna put an alert so I don't miss it. All right, let's go to EU. Let's see what's going on. All right, so for today, if you're trading EU, look, just call it a week. All right, for my EU traders, call it a week. If you really want to trade on this, honestly, we're still bullish, so I would look for buying opportunities. But that's the question. Where are the buying opportunities? We are in range right now. We haven't given any manipulations. In fact, forget this break of market structure. This is just liquidity now, right? We have low, 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 right? We're building liquidity here. So if you're looking to buy this market right now, you're probably going to get wrecked, all right? Because this is just obvious liquidity pool. So I'd honestly wait until we take out these lows first. And then if you get your buying opportunity, you get a change of character, you get anything in here, then you try to take your buying opportunities after that. But right now, sit tight on EU. All right, sit tight. GU, a little bit better. We're still bullish here too from this low to this high. So order flow is still bullish. We do have liquidity too at the lows down here. I do see that we invalidated this kind of small, I would say, supply zone there as well. But zooming into the lower time frame, we haven't manipulated too much today. For me personally, even the Asian session manipulation today, it was okay. It wasn't that crazy. But I do see that we are giving some impulses towards the upside for like a daily thing here. We're filling imbalances, as you can see. If you're a scalper, I know some scalpers. We do have a distribution up here. Probably wait for that next impulse if we continue mitigating like this, and then pull back into the next imbalance, and then you could probably look for some buys here on lower time frame. Remember, these are really risky trades. These are not trades that I look for, I take. I'm just giving you guys opportunities that you could potentially get into at the moment if you really want to trade today. But personally, I'm not taking this. All right. But you can kind of see the market has given us that. It's giving us that up move today. So if you really want to take a trade, that's what I would look for. AU, we're kind of ranging as well. This is still bullish to me as well. So these are still bullish until we break these lows. So that's why I'm telling you guys to look for buys, since structure is still bullish and we haven't invalidated, especially on AU, since we're taking buys and we're still seeing impulses towards the upside today as well. Right here, we're seeing that impulse again. So see that GU high, would you class that as a false break out to the upside? A false breakout to the upside, you're saying GU high. Which GU high? You're talking about right here. Okay. A false breakout? No, not really. So I mean, if we're looking at it from a structure standpoint, just zoom out. G was bullish. All right. I'm just gonna say that, right? G is flat out bullish. Okay. So when we zoom in here, go to like the 1 hour, and we zoom into this price action, we're looking at all these up moves, Where can we identify our latest leg, right? We can see in here, this is just a straight up move, right? You don't want to kind of come in here and force structure. You want to draw structure where you see structure. All right. So this is where we see structure. We see a high, we see a low, we see another high, right? This is a valid leg. So this is the structure point. Now, GU is bullish till this low gets broken. Okay. So if you want to talk about like false breakouts and manipulations, honestly, it would be between these highs here for like true structure. Okay, when we get into the lower time frame, this is where it gets kind of, you can get kind of mixed in. I see a lot of people do this where you think you're trading structure, but you're not trading structure. Okay, technically this here is not structure. This is why I'm not trading it, because technically this is not structure. All right, structure is from this low to this high. Okay, this is true structure. Okay, so if you're getting into this point right here, you're going to be on lower time frame. You gotta know that you're on the lower time frame. Probably go down to the 15-minute here, and even then, you can still see that this high here makes this high. We don't make a lower low. Okay, so technically, low, high, low, high, low, potentially new high. Right, it's why I was telling you guys to look for buys, because we're still holding this structure, and now in the inside and internal, we're forming another kind of bullish push. So I want to classify that as a false breakout, because technically we're still bullish. Simply just, the market just simply made a high, retraced. That's it, right? That's how structure is. So I was confused. I wanted to buy. Yeah, so you're on the right side because that's what you should be looking for. You should be looking for buys. Hey, well, let's do a little pause on our talking real quick. Let me go see what's going on. Oh, that's a bullish candle. My gosh. I can already see where this day is going. I can already see what type of day this is gonna be. We're probably not even gonna respect this area. Are we? Five minutes gonna close inside of it. Rejection candle. Yes, no. Yes. No. All right. We're back to NAS. Since we have a candle that closed inside of here, guys, that's a red flag for me. Like I told you guys earlier, I want to see rejections. We need rejections. So this is how you kind of, since we're like since we're on the lower time frame, we're here on the 5 minute time frame. Okay, so you want to be strict with this. because I'm risking 1% per trade. I don't want you guys taking these setups and trades and you're taking just pointless losses. All right, we're gonna be strict. All right, this market, these markets, indices, NAS, US 30, they move very fast. Okay, so they'll create these areas and quickly invalidate these areas. So I don't want you guys just taking a limit order from just regular imbalances. All right, we need to prove that these areas want to actually reject from it. And if the market's gonna reject, it's gonna show you. All right, I see that NAS wants to go bullish for today. So that's why I'm being skeptical here on US 30, especially since we kind of closed right here. I'm thinking we might invalidate this. If we do invalidate this, do see that small potential 5-minute imbalance right there that we could take off from once we close outside of this. That's a small potential imbalance we could get something from. And we're rejecting off of the 40,000 level too. So we'll see. We will see. So, yeah, it's probably going to be the case. We're just going to be another bullish day. Amazing. Well, in the meantime, let's go ahead and just put NAS right here for you. All right, NAS, we're here again. We are back again. See US 30. Yeah. Nvidia. Yep. Apple is going down. I think that's why US 30 is rejecting so much. Nvidia does not care. All right, what were we talking about? We're talking about GU. Let me get through these real quick. I'll just have this open on another screen real quick. Let me just, and I'll get back to that later. I do see that we're rejecting, so we'll get back to that. All right, so yeah, GU. Where are we at? Because on the 15-minute, I saw a change of character. You saw that as a change of character to look for buys. You saw this as a change of character to look for buys. Well, you should already be looking for buys anyways, since we're bullish. All right. From this low to that high, we're in premium pricing, right? You can see what's happened to 71 to 80. This is going to be your golden zone. So you should already be looking for buys. Honestly, I didn't really need any of these highs to get broken since we're here in this kind of pricing already, and this market already is bullish. For a change of character, I would have loved if we actually made a low. So what do I mean? If the market actually made like lower lows and then we broke, right? That's a valid change of character to me. Since this high didn't make a lower low, I wouldn't consider this change of character. But your directional bias is correct, right? You should be looking for buys. AU playing around. We're still in UCAD. UCHEF playing around as well. UJ, we're gonna look for buys next week on UJ. We're gonna try to follow this. I want to take something from here, but it doesn't look like we can at the moment because we don't have our imbalance. We have our imbalance up here, but that's not where we're taking our trade from. So kind of wanted to see it a little bit lower into our area. Not that high, honestly, but We'll see. Hopefully UJ does create something for us. But we'll be looking for buys on UJ, guys. Just keep that in mind. Looking for buys on UJ. GJ, we're looking for buys, right? Next week, hopefully. This area right here, we can still come into that area there. Not going to set. We don't have a limit order yet. All right. No limit order on this area yet. Let me just delete this. I don't want you guys setting a limit order. No limit order on this yet. Remember, it's the weekend. Market might gap, especially GJ. All right. The spread on GJ when the market opens is crazy. Okay. It's insane. I would just say that it is insane. All right. So you kind of just want to be careful with that. All right. But we're looking for buys on GJ until we kind of get into this area here, and then we'll start looking for those selling opportunities. Okay. All right. So CAD-J, same thing here. We have a buying opportunity that we're looking for on CAD-J. As this market continues going higher and it creates these impulsive movements, as you're seeing right here, this area wouldn't be a good representation since this is liquidity underneath. So we didn't take any lows yet. So, but basically you guys get the point. As we continue giving these bullish impulses, we're going to continue taking buying opportunities. Okay. AJ, same thing here. Buying opportunities until we get into the 71 and the 80. Okay. Didn't come back into that imbalance, surprisingly. ACAD. I wouldn't look for buying opportunities here just yet. There's no opportunities to buy right now, and we're too close to our premium pricing. So I would leave ACAD alone. That's why I don't have anything on ACAD. GCAD, I'm waiting for this high to get broken right here. Just a small impulse, and we'll take that buy into that. Since we're so close to this area, unless we can create that here and really get into this, then we'll probably not even take that sell, honestly, guys. E-Chef, looking for buys on E-Chef. We're looking for buys. All right, we got the manipulation today. We just need the market to break this high, leave us a small little imbalance that we could see, and we will take some more buys on E-Chef. We invalidated this high right here, which is our change of character. All right, market is bearish. This was our high that was supposed to create our next low, but we didn't do that just yet. So we got that change of character right here. So the guy that was here earlier, this is a valid change of character right here, right? You can see how we have high, low, right? And then the market breaks that high. So that's a valid change of character for me. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Of course, Sunday we're gonna have another market analysis where, depending on how the end of the day goes today, I will update you guys in anything that changes. And I think we have a selling opportunity here on US 30. I think. Yeah, most likely we're going to take these shorts today. Let's go for it. US 30. That was a very, very, very aggressive candle. Gosh. All right, US 30. You could wait for me too. Very, 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 very aggressive candle that we closed outside of there. Finally, we closed. I think they heard that I'm getting in, so they stop loss there. Let's check NAS one more time. What are you doing? Okay. Not the best entry, but it's something. Definitely would have loved the better entry, but it's okay. It is okay. It's probably not okay. Hold on. I'm looking at this target right now, and this target's pretty far. All right, we're in sales on US 30. My entry sucks. My entry sucks. I'm gonna tell you guys that right now. It's at, where is that at? 39,850. Trash entry. I think on this broker is completely different. I'll just show you guys real quick. Pretty trash entry, but it's right there. So let's see. We're about to go break even soon though. In about, come on. Wow. All right, cool. No break even, I guess. Well, actually, let me actually verify it before I do that. Let's move this right here. Where this at? 245. Wow. All right. We need 250 to go break even, by the way. That's amazing. That was a very impulsive sell-off there. But yeah, terrible entry, not the best entry, but it's something, right? We'll see. Probably be our only trade for the day, depending on how the end of the day goes. If we had a better... Probably was just some manipulation to mitigate this imbalance, honestly. That's why I wanted to trade before we got down here, because now this market's here, it's definitely going to reject off of it. Is there another 5-minute imbalance? There is another 5-minute imbalance. So here's what I'm gonna do. Actually, we're gonna take this one instead. So I'm actually gonna go break even. We're gonna go break even. Forget that. And if the market comes back higher, we're gonna take that next imbalance. So if we get break even on this, we'll take the next imbalance. Yeah, we'll just take this 5-minute instead. Because this is what I was targeting, and since the market's already here, I could definitely see some rejections. I was expecting the market to turn around from here, honestly. So definitely not going to play around with that area. But NAS is pretty far away, so I'm hoping that NAS wants to continue down here to take out this liquidity. Please, NAS, give us this move to the downside so US 30 can fall. Because our take profit is kind of far away. Gold. Yeah, let's get into gold real quick. Gold. So yeah, as I was saying on gold earlier, man, I don't think you were here, but this is our last leg on gold, right? I'm on the 1 hour time frame. So our last leg is literally from this low to that high. In between this high and low, what do you see? Institutional price point, right? 3,000 institutional price point. All right, 3,500 institutional price point. So low to high, we have 2 institutional price point. We're literally coming back to equilibrium. So you can see as the market is getting down here, we're kind of already slowing down. So as we start crossing this 50% and we start, if we even go this low, but as we start coming into 50% and potentially going lower, this is where you want to start waiting for that change of character. Okay, you want to wait until we start invalidating these highs. Once you see that, you start buying gold again and you take us higher because we're bullish. All right, so that's what I'm looking for here on gold. That's where I would be buying gold. If you're looking to buy gold, wait until we get underneath 50% at least. All right, wait until that. Wait until you see that change of character, that break of structure, whatever you want to call it. Right, it's all the same thing. Break of structure, all of it. So that's gold for the time being. If you're looking to sell gold, those selling opportunities are kind of dwindling down. So I wouldn't even look for aggressive sales right now. I would say look for safe sales, high probability sales. Look for an actual setup. Don't just sell it just because of where it's at, because we're kind of getting close into discounted. So just be careful with that. All right. All right, US 30, come on. I'll take profits like down here. It's very far, unfortunately. But that is the open of yesterday's movement. So hopefully we come down and mitigate that. We'll see. Today might just be just a bearish day. We'll see. We will see. We will see. We will see. I think USEF pulled back a lot. Wow. This is not the price action that we want to see, USEF. Not at all. But we reduce risk here. So our stop loss is at this low here on USEF at the moment. For anybody that took that trade, if you didn't see that. It is Friday, so I'm not going to ask too much of these markets, but we need to see movements. Okay. More bearish candles. We need more. A couple more bearish candles, and that'll be a trade for the day. And we'll be up 5% for the week. We're up like 3% right now on that account, so we up 5%. It's only a one-step account. I think it's like 10% for the whole thing. So we'll see. Started on Tuesday. So Tuesday we took a trade. We've been taking a trade every day since Tuesday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Today's Friday, so that's 4 days. I'm really playing with fire here because I definitely know that the market can definitely reject and go higher from here. Especially after yesterday's movement. Four-hour imbalance though down there, hopefully. Let's come for that instead. US 30. Get better entries for you guys, better prices. Hit my take profit down here. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Any redistribution here on gold? No. Let's get to a 5 minute. Go down even lower. No valid redistribution just yet. You could have one today though if we sweep these highs. Probably just look a little run up of these highs. We break the low. That could be your selling opportunity. Continue the selling pressure to downside. Something like that is good. You just want to be careful, right? I just want you guys to be careful. Don't just sell this for no reason. Actually look for a setup before you sell it. I have multiple imbalances here actually. Let's go NQ real quick. Let's see what's going on. Alright, Nas, let's not do this. It's gonna be the stronger one, of course. But you guys can see the idea of basically how the scalping strategy is, right? Just waiting for these reactions like that. Today, this gives me a terrible entry today, unfortunately, but It is what it is. We'll see what happens. If we need to switch to buys, we will. That's a good pair. I haven't checked that in a while, actually. Where did this come from? Well, there you go. I don't even know when I put this here because I'm not in this trade. And why am I not in this trade? That's a good question. What the? When did I draw this? Well, there you go. Bullish. All right, Chef is bullish. Right, this pair, man. This is just bullish, okay? The Chef is a very strong currency. So it's usually a very strong currency, and this market has just been going up since then. We're still bullish, so I'll continue looking for buys. I'm kind of flabbergasted right now. I don't know when I actually put this in here, but well, you can kind of see it. So there's our demand zone. I'm gonna delete this because I'm not in that trade, but there's our demand zone there. I want to know why I'm not in that trade too. What happened here? I don't even know when I marked this out, honestly. Look for buying opportunities, man. Yeah, look for buying opportunities. Personally, I'm not gonna chase this. So I like this. I like this. I like this move right here. I like that. So here's what I do. And you know what? We actually might take a trade on here next week. Next week. I was gonna say tomorrow, but tomorrow's Saturday. Next week. So let's go to 1 hour time frame. Yeah, it's a pretty nice candle. We have manipulation here. Right? See that candle? We have a fill of imbalance here. Boom. Let's go to the 4 hour. 4 hour might be nope. 4 hour is not cleaner. We're gonna stick to the 1 hour. There's gonna be your candle. That's gonna be your demand zone. As this market develops and we go higher, the 4 hour might become the setup if it gives like a better trade. But for now, that's gonna be your setup. All right, that's gonna be where you're looking to take that entry. We have our breaker structure. The market is still bullish. I'm actually gonna add this to my pairs. I don't know why it's not there. And that's another trade that I have to journal. Let's go ahead and add Chef. Add Chef right here. We'll put it right underneath there. Yeah, so I gotta remember to journal these 3 this week. And you know what? I might replace AJ here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna replace AJ for Chef J. Cause I haven't taken any trades on AJ, honestly, since I added it. So yeah, that's what I'll do. I'm gonna replace it. Come back to another day. Too much JPY pairs. Gotta kind of pick and choose our battles here. And Chef J is obviously better at the moment. So we'll keep that there. That's a trade that we'll look for next week. I'm gonna put a reminder here to make sure I put that limit order in. All right. And there goes that reaction. Yeah. So we definitely break even on US 30. All right. Well, just look for the bullish. Look for the bullish move. Once we take out this 5 minute though. I need us to take out, once we invalidate that, I think NAS might be the way to go. But you guys can see NAS been playing around too much, a lot. So definitely gotta be careful with that one. But might just look for the buys here. Don't stop now. Keep going. You already broke us even. Let's go. We might as well just keep going higher now. So we filled the imbalance. I really don't have no more objective to the downside. So if we don't react from here to go fill this one and we just break towards the upside, then I'm just going to be looking for buys for the rest of the day, honestly. He was looking at Chef JPY for the whole day. Yeah, I don't know when I looked at this, man. I really don't. I don't know when I put this area here, but I probably just was marking it out and I left it alone because I don't know. Well, I had a long position set right here, so I must have been looking for something. I don't know why, what happened or why I didn't go back to it, but it's all right. That's an extra trade to the journal. At least I know. At least I know that would have been a winning trade. That's good to know, right? Makes me happy. What'd you open? Sell? Close your sell. No, I'm just playing. Hold on. Let me delete these real quick. Might be, might not be. Let me. I haven't looked at this market in a while. Let me see. We're bearish on the higher time frame, so let's redo this structure. All right, daily bearish, intraday bullish. Daily bearish, intraday is bullish. So order flow is bullish right now. So we should be looking for buys. Low, high, low, high. Order flow is right here. Order flow. So I would not look for sales until we break this low, man. But you do have a good eye because we are ranging, so that is good to look at. I can see this market coming down because we are ranging. So buying pressure has slowed down, right? We're seeing impulse higher, impulse higher, impulse higher, impulse higher. And now after this last impulse higher, we see the market makes a low and it's struggling to make higher highs now. We're making higher lows and we're struggling to make higher highs. So what does that mean? That means we have slowed down, right? We're in a range, okay? So since this market was going up, 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 now we're slowing down. That means we could potentially start going down, okay? But to confirm this, so you don't just get stuck in this back and forth, because this could happen. And this is why I don't trade ranges. It's because you just don't know how long the range is going to go for, okay? So wait for this low to get broken, so that confirms that the market is changing and you're seeing sellers get into the market, and then you can start taking sales, right? Then you can start being more confident in your selling. And simply, man, it just comes down to patience, right? Just wait for the change of character. All right, market's not going anywhere, guys. I know a lot of you are seeing like a lot of people are like kind of scalping these days, especially on social media. A lot of people are scalping. They're on the 1 minute, on the 5 minute, they're on like the 15 minute. And when you go down to the 15 minute, it's kind of, when you're sitting here on the 15 minute, you're looking at this, you start thinking this is your structure, right? You start looking at structure this way and just zoom out, right? Zoom out at least to like 30 minute, 1 hour. I would say those are the time frames you really want to stick on, like the 30 minutes to the 1 hour. Just zoom out so you can actually see what's going on, because I see a lot of people, and especially beginners, when you're on these lower time frames, you're taking a lot of losses because these moves are happening so quick, right? And the market is moving so fast on these lower time frames that you're not getting established moves, okay? Just be patient and wait, okay? That's pretty much it. Wait for the higher time frame moves. When I say higher time frame, it doesn't have to be daily, 4 hour. Higher time frame or intraday could be like 30 minute, 45, or 1 hour, right? Wait for those type of moves. Take those type of trades. Those are going to be way easier. It's way easier trading that way. Trust me. It's way easier. You guys got to understand, these markets are not going anywhere, okay? Unless the whole world crashes, these markets are not going anywhere. All right, because when I started trading, I knew this was going to be a lifelong thing for me personally. Like, I just know I'll never stop trading, right? Because that's just how I am. Trading to me feels like a game that I can't beat. Because technically you never really beat trading, because you're going to take losses here and there. So technically you're never actually beating the markets. The markets are just letting you win sometimes, right? And I like that. I like that excitement, because I like to play games. I'm a video game person. I like to play all types of games, and I like beating games. So this feels like a game to me. So yeah, guys, just patience, 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 right? Market's not going anywhere. If the markets do go somewhere, you have bigger problems. Trust me. So yeah, I'm a let's see. Hopefully we don't go too far here on CHF. Let's start making our way back down. All these JPY pairs, we need to start making our way back down. I need some entries, especially GJ, man. I really want GJ to hit this before we get up here, and that'd be an easy profit. Yeah, it's gonna be a good week to kind of journal all of this. I have a lot to journal. CAD J, GJ, UJ, especially UJ, man. I'm still kind of upset about this. Even more upset that I chose UJ over GJ, and UJ ended up not missing the trade. It's kind of crazy. I wasn't gonna take anything from here. You guys can see I didn't take a trade from this area here, and simply we don't have an imbalance here. I don't want imbalance to be up here. I want imbalance to be near where I'm taking my entry, and the imbalance is all the way up here. So that's not what I want to see. I was looking at it more of like for a 4-hour time frame. You can see we barely have that imbalance there. I need to see an actual imbalance, not something that small. All right. Just looks like majority of the price action here was filled, so it just wasn't going to take anything here. This kind of difference here, you guys can see the difference right there where our imbalance is, and basically what that means is that just gives the market a reason to come to our entry. All right, that's all the imbalance is. Just gives the market a reason to come back down. And I want to see that reasoning. But these are some good setups to add to my warm-up journal so I can look at it in the mornings. All right, do we have any other questions? Any other questions? Anybody got anything? Any other pairs that you want me to look at before we end this call? Give you guys like a minute. I'm gonna go to Pepperstone because I think that's the best one here. What's going on, man? I was just about to get off. Yes, longs. This is going to be your golden zone right here, the 71, the 80. That's where you should really lock in for the longs. Right now, it looks like you're kind of in no man's land. Give me 1 second. Well, wait for these highs to get broken. Right, wait for these highs to get broken. That'll be your change of character, because the market is still technically bearish at the moment. We're still creating lower lows, lower lows. So wait for that change of character to show some buying pressure. We already at 50%, so it's okay to buy here, but you just need to see buyers. So you need to see that change of character. So once we get up here, we break this high, you get your pullback into here. This looks very good. Right here, that'll be your area for buying. Okay, look for there, take it to the upside. All right, you definitely want to actually confirm this trade. So I wouldn't take a limit order from there, honestly, because we just have so much space. Okay, we have so much space. So once we do break this high and you have this area here, when the market gets into here, make sure you wait and look for the market to actually give you this exact same thing here that you're seeing. Wait for it on like the 5-minute or the 15-minute time frame. So on the lower time frames, when we get into this area, just wait for another break. Once we get that break, a little like smaller break of structure, then you can take your trade, put your stop loss underneath the low, and then you can take that long opportunity. All right, but you just want to be, I want you to be cautious here, because I can definitely see this market still coming lower if it wants to down here into the 70, 71. But so just be cautious. Yeah, we're definitely looking like it's ranging. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was looking at that right now on my other screen. Yeah, most definitely. Nas is I was talking about that earlier with the with these guys in here. Yeah, I took a sell today on US 30 that ended up going south really quickly. We came really back. I was looking to try to take this sell into this candle, into this area here, and we got it, but the take profit for I was looking for was like somewhere down here. I took the entry itself was just terrible, right? Because I need a closure outside of it, and the closure is all the way down here. So like the 1 to 2 is like somewhere in here past the imbalance. And once I seen that, I was like, I kind of knew we're probably gonna get break even on this. So yeah, that was a break even trade. We're probably still gonna go lower, but I'll see. Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. I mean, and that still has a lot to go. So honestly, I mean, it's 11 before 12. It's Friday, so I'm not gonna chase the market. But if I see something like some pushes to the downside here, either way, honestly, if I see some pushes to the upside here, I can target these highs. If I see some pushes to the downside, I'm gonna target this imbalance down here. I'll target this imbalance here. We'll see. I know US 30 already made it to that imbalance, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. yeah. It is Friday, so it's just there's no point of forcing anything. Wait till Monday open, and we'll look for some things there. But that is pretty much it for me, guys. If you guys have any other questions, let me know in the Discord or hit me on Instagram. And that is pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the market analysis on Sunday. We'll see what happens for the rest of the week. I need UCAD to hit or take profit by the end of today. I've been playing around too much. And then, yeah, these are our 2 active orders so far, just UCHEF and UCAD. Pending orders, CADJ, GJ, which these are some things that I have to journal this week. And that's pretty much it for now. All right, brother. Thank you for popping in. Really appreciate it. And thank you for everyone else that came in here that was live with me for 2 hours. Time really went by super fast. But thank you guys for joining in. And that is pretty much it. I'm going to end the call here. If you have any further questions, you have any concerns, you have any analysis, trades, or anything, just let me know. Join the Discord. Let me know there, or just text me on Instagram. All right. Thank you guys, and peace out. Enjoy your weekend, guys. All right. Don't get stuck on the charts. Go outside. Touch grass. Please. All right. Thank you guys for coming.